In your role as a DNC chair, are we going to see more of Tim Kaine now, that it's a full-time job?
You'll see more of Tim Kaine on TV. You know, there's the national party chair. I could be on national TV every day, kind of if I wanted to. People wanted me, but my first year, you know, I told the president, I'm governor. That's my first job. I'll do the DNC work when I can, but I have to keep this state with a low unemployment rate and best managed. I've got these goals that I want to pursue. So the first year I didn't do a lot of national press. I did some. But now that I am transitioning into this role as essentially full-time, I will do a lot more national press. I'll be in a lot more places promoting the president, and there's so many races next year, you know, 36 or 7 governor's races, 36 Senate races, every House race. I'm going to be out there helping a lot of people.
And I wanted to ask you about that too. This fall's election, where we saw 2 Republicans win
the governorships, right?
Was that demoralizing to the
It was tough. It was tough. Now, we had a little bit of a counter that made us feel pretty good, which is we lost both governorships. But there were 5 special elections in Congress this year, and we won all 5, including in some very Republican districts. And we won 2 U.S. Senate seats. When I say won, Michael Steele chased Arlen Specter from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, and then we won a recount battle in Minnesota that made Al Franken senator. So all the movement in Congress, the Senate or the House this year, has been in our favor. But we didn't want to lose the 2 governorships, so that was tough. But what it shows us is that going into 2010, where there's many more races, we got to be on our A game. So in talking to the president and talking to the leaders of both houses of Congress, the stakes are high. Nothing's guaranteed to us. There's no automatics. The other side's energized, and we got to be energized too. So we're focused very significantly on being successful in 2010.
Republicans seem so united. I mean, how can you get the Democratic Party united in the next year, heading into the midterms?
Each party has its own challenges. I mean, like the Republican Party, they were united behind their candidate in Virginia, but you know, we ended up with an extra U.S. senator in Pennsylvania with Arlen Specter because they chased him out of the party. We won a couple of congressional seats in jurisdictions where Republicans were fighting so hard in Republican districts that we were able to win with Democratic candidates. So they've got their challenges next year too in that way. But I will say in Virginia what we certainly saw is that Democrats had won my race in 05, then we won with Jim Webb in 06, then we won the state Senate in 07, and then in 08 we won electoral votes, Mark Warner for Senate, and 3 members of the House. We had 4 very good years in a row, and I do give the Republicans credit. After having 4 bad years in a row, they said, we got to get together and win this year, and they were very energized, and they were more energized than the Democrats were. So, you know, I think we learned from it. And we're going to be very energized to support the president and Democratic candidates in 2010.
Why did you want to become chairman of the DNC at a time when Virginia was facing rising unemployment? We were in the middle of a recession and all of this. That sounds like a full-time job in and of itself.
Oh, it is. It is. And that's why I'm so proud as I'm leaving the office to say that Virginia's unemployment rate's one of the lowest in America. And the large state, we're by far the lowest. The only states lower than us are states that are like 1/5 our size or sometimes even less. We have the best unemployment rate of any large state, and our income is in the top 10 in the United States. During my time as governor, I've recruited 5 Fortune 500 companies to move to Virginia, including a couple that I got to move to Virginia this year, which no other governor in the United States can say. So Virginia being governor came first, and we've got the results to show it. I didn't really want to be DNC chair, but the president arm twisted me. I wrote him a letter telling him who the DNC chair should be. Howard Dean was not going to run for a second term. And so I had a great idea of somebody in mind, but I'd gotten so close to the president when we worked together to win Virginia's electoral votes that he said, I need a great party chair who knows how to organize, you know, who's got a record of success. The fact that you're from a state that is very business friendly, the fact that you're fluent in Spanish, and the fact that you and I know one another well, I need you to do this job. I told him, I'm governor of Virginia, that comes first. He said, so for your first year, just do the little bit that you can, focus on being a great governor. And that's what has been my focus. But I've given up a lot of my personal time to, you know, go ahead and start building at the national level so we can be successful in the party.
But I think a lot of people would say to that, too, that you've been gone quite a few days out of the state, and you've given up some of the details of your schedule, that you've been gone several days of the week doing your work for the DNC, and that you haven't been here.
For the state. Look, as you know, I mean, you can do work by phone and by computer pretty easily, and I'm never any place where I'm not doing work for the state. And at the end of the day, it's results that matter. So, lowest unemployment rate of a large state, best state for business 8 times during my 4 years as governor. All 3 publications that rank states in their business climate, all 3 of them ranked Virginia #1 this year. Recruiting Fortune 500 companies. Governing Magazine says we're the best managed state in America. I'm really proud of Education Week. They said we were the best state for a child to be born to have a successful life. So I knew the main goal was we got to be a successful state, and we are. And we've been able to maintain success in the midst of the toughest economy in the last 60 years. I feel very, very proud of that. And even some things that weren't Fortune 500 companies, like in Harrisonburg, SRI, building their East Coast campus in Harrisonburg. I worked very closely on that deal. It was great to be part of it, part of the groundbreaking, part of the ribbon cutting that we had last month. So now I feel really good about where Virginia is. But I also feel honored to be able to be chair of the oldest political party in the world and help a great president, because that's what it's about. And Virginians have understood it. I think they realized I wasn't seeking the job. When the president asked me to do it, the citizens, I think, understood pretty quickly, gosh, is there any downside to the governor having a close working relationship with the president? Because that's been able to be, I've been able to make some things happen for Virginia because of my close ties with the president. Like we were able to do the first ever presidential executive order about the Chesapeake Bay, for example, which is really helping us with bay and bay cleanliness, which is a huge priority to Virginians. I've been able to keep some military assets here that were in danger of being moved to other states that would have been really hard on the Hampton Roads economy. So working closely with the White House, I don't get anything that I ask just because I ask, but I do get to talk to the decision makers, and that's been good for Virginia.